Hello, everyone. Welcome to Joe the Lawyer. Today, I'm going to talk about what it's been like to practice law and run a law firm during the coronavirus shutdown. Thank you, everyone, for joining me. Those of you who don't know me, I'm Joe Pometto. I'm a practicing Pittsburgh attorney. I have a small practice here in Pittsburgh, PA. I do criminal defense, family law, personal injury, anything that my clients come to me with and I can help them, I do. This is my channel where I talk about legal topics and what it's like to practice law. If you like my channel, please like, subscribe, comment, and share. Right now, I'm looking to get subscriptions. Once I get 1,000 subscriptions, I can monetize this channel. It will also give me additional features that I can use on YouTube. So go ahead and subscribe. It's a free way to support this show. This show will always remain free. Also, sign up for my email list. You sign up for my email list, you get a free PDF on what to do when pulled over by the police. So I prepared some notes here. I'm going to go off script a little bit, but I'm also going to bounce off my notes. And the first thing I wrote down to tell you about how coronavirus has been affecting attorneys, and what I said was slow. It has slowed everything down. So I'm here in Pittsburgh, PA. We went on lockdown like a lot of the country about 30 days ago. The courts sort of followed the lead of the president and the governors and state governments and basically locked down, shut down all court services except for things that were essential or were emergencies. One big thing that's happened, all jury trials have been canceled, and even all non-jury trials have been canceled as well. With my practice, I do a lot of criminal defense. So I'm dependent on having hearings, right? And my clients sometimes don't have a lot of money to pay me, okay? So when the hearings are coming up, that's when they pay me, right before the hearings. Well, the courts have postponed all of my hearings. They're shot out 45 days, 60 days, 90 days, okay? So I've lost a lot of my clientele and a lot of my new clientele. Criminal defense requires the attorney to pick up new clients every week, a couple of clients at least every week, and that flow has stopped. I've maybe picked up one or two or three here and there, but my steady flow has stopped. I don't know if that means there's been a reduction in crime. That there probably has been less DUIs, less people going out and getting in trouble. So overall, probably a good thing for society, but it slows my business down when it comes to criminal defense. Another way that it has affected me is I have a part-time assistant. I had to lay her off. So I'm still working on some cases, doing some emergency criminal stuff, and even some family stuff, but I don't have my assistant anymore. So I've had to do some of the tasks that she would do for me, right? Drafting letters, drafting envelopes, sending emails, making phone calls, a lot of little stuff. So even though everything has slowed down for me, I'm still working, close to a full day because I have to do all this minor stuff that I didn't have to do before. It takes up some more of my time. So, even though I'm not working a full day, I'm still working close to a full day, day in and day out. Again, criminal law, family law is similar, very dependent on hearings, and so a lot of that has ground to a halt. Now, I also do civil litigation like personal injury, employment cases, lawsuits where you're suing someone. Now, I've been able to do more work on those because those types of cases generally just require a lot of back and forth between the attorneys on the cases. So I've been able to catch up on my litigation cases that have sort of been sitting on the back burner because usually in normal times, I'm running to court every day doing my criminal trials and hearings or family law motions, etc. One interesting thing, I have a lot of attorney friends, as you can imagine, is the bigger firms, okay, mid-sized firms, larger law firms. What they're doing is they're telling their associate attorneys to find work that they can do and that they can bill their clients for. Now, those firms, their model is a bit different, right? They rely on generally insurance companies are paying the bills or they're representing big companies and they bill hourly. So what the partners at these firms are doing is they're talking to their attorneys and they're saying, like I was telling you, catch up on these cases, catch up on those cases, catch up on these cases. All right. And so their attorneys have had to look for work and things to do in order to bill their clients. Okay. I'm not talking about anybody specifically, but I know that this is going on. And that allows the larger firms to sort of plow forward during times like this when smaller firms like me, who require on a steady source of income, get hit a little bit harder. However, that philosophy of telling their associates to look for work could cause a little bit of friction between them and their clients, because their clients may say, well, the clients or the insurance companies may say, you know what, slow down, save us some money here, slow down. The courts are slowed down. Maybe you can slow down. But that's not good for the pockets of the large firms, okay? They need those billable hours to keep the lights on and to keep those big salaries getting paid. So it'll be interesting to see. I know some firms have experienced layoffs, not that many mass layoffs yet that I've seen in the legal industry, but there are definitely layoffs going on. Okay, number 2, teleconferencing. So just earlier this week, I did a sentencing on a criminal defendant over the phone. All right. The judge was in the courtroom, and it's my understanding the prosecutor was in the courtroom, but they let me call in, and also my client called in, and we were put on speakerphone. I have to say, I liked it. I thought everything went just as smooth as it would have gone in the courtroom. Especially in criminal defense, they're usually very formal because judges and courts don't want to infringe on people's rights, whether they be their constitutional rights or rights guaranteed under certain statutes, okay, especially in criminal law, because your freedom is at stake. The courts try very hard to make sure that you're given due process. So this is very much out of the ordinary. I think when criminal court, when things go back to normal with the lockdown, I don't think criminal court is going to keep this up. However, I must give credit to some of the courts in Western Pennsylvania. It's gone very smooth. They want to move criminal cases forward, because another thing that can hurt a criminal defendant in their rights is if they have to sit in jail and wait too long. Okay, under the Constitution, a criminal defendant has to be brought to trial within 1 year. And that's all sort of been thrown off with the coronavirus lockdowns, as you can imagine. So there's sort of dueling interests in the criminal courts. On one hand, they need to guarantee a defendant's rights. On the other hand, they have to move the case along in a quick manner. And the courts in Western PA have adapted to that. They're doing teleconferencing, moving certain things forward, as long as the attorney and the defendant, my clients, okay, waive some of the rights that they would otherwise have, such as being in the courtroom. Generally, if it's in the interest of your client or the defendant, it's no problem to waive. So I did a sentencing over the phone. I thought it went great. Allegheny County has been doing bond court over the phone. I did that twice a couple of weeks ago, and that also went very smooth. So I've been impressed. I like the teleconferencing. I like the video stuff. I'm learning to use Zoom like everybody else. I hope we can do more of that. Also, I've been communicating with my clients who are in the jail over phone. They've made accommodations so the attorneys can call in. Normally, we can't just call in. Though Allegheny County has a video system now. It's like $4,000, $2,000 or something. I don't have it. And number three, this is something I've been asked a lot about on both my channels, friends, everybody, is what's going on with clients in jail. You've probably seen all over the news, certain states are releasing people from jail. The federal government are releasing people from jail. First off, let me say, because everybody who's out there and says, oh, that's scary, you're letting people out of jail. I can tell you from personal experience in my own clients, they're letting low-level offenders out. Okay, these individuals who are charged with violent crimes, very serious, high-level crimes, they are remaining in jails and or prisons. Low-level offenders or people who were really close to being released already because they had done a majority of their time and they did it well, okay, are being released a little bit early so that coronavirus doesn't get into the jails and doesn't spread into the jails. It's already in a lot of jails. There's been a few documented federal prisons where it's hit really hard. But they're trying to reduce that, and I think the courts have done a pretty good job of helping to get a lot of people out. I've had a few clients who it's benefited, and some clients who were charged with really serious crimes who have been bugging me nonstop to get them out. Because you can imagine these people sitting in jail, they say, oh, there's this deadly virus out there. This is our ticket out, okay? And I can't blame anybody for thinking that, but that's not the way it's working, okay? The courts are not just, punching the ticket of everybody in the jail. This isn't World War III or nuclear Armageddon, okay? But I've had to field, this has been keeping me busy, I've had to field relentless phone calls from my clients who are in jail asking me to get them out due to COVID-19. Me and other defense attorneys even came up with certain stock language to put into our motions to let the court know that we're requesting this in order to reduce the prison population and protect our clients' health. And protect the health of society as a whole. Again, they're not really buying it, but people who were close to the end of their sentences have been getting out, or very low-level offenders who might have probably been getting out anyway have been getting released. They're not letting out, the murderers or the really bad criminals. I can tell you that. So those are the ways that this COVID-19 lockdown has really been affecting my law practice. Law, I always say, is interesting. Law, when the economy is going good, because legal services are high-end services, they're expensive. When the economy is going good, things go really well for lawyers. When the economy goes bad, things can go really bad for lawyers as well. We're almost like a luxury good in a certain sense. However, we can be adaptable, right? In hard times, people will still need legal services, and we can reduce our fees, do a whole bunch of different things. But this is unprecedented. This is different than just a slow economy. Like I said, I do criminal defense. It's ground to a halt. It's ground to a halt. So it's been really interesting. I'm going to be okay. I hope everybody out there is okay, staying safe, following the rules until we can get the economy back on track. So thank you very much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Joe the Lawyer. Go ahead, like, subscribe, comment, and share. Really looking to get subscriptions right now. I appreciate all of your support. Thank you.